perception of emptiness, to eventually have an awakening of bodhicitta in your heart, you have to purify your mind. Mind, heart, these are all just terms. The Tibetans believe the mind is here. The Westerners believe that it's somewhere in the brain somewhere. It's your consciousness. Another quality of going for refuge is you can collect great virtue. Shakyamuni Buddha in the sutras said many times that by offering and going for protection to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha in his teachings, the Buddha in his teachings, you get great virtue, you get great merit, and you're going to need that merit. Why? Because that merit you collected, and that becomes your eventual paradise body. As I said before, there are the two great collections, collection of wisdom, collection of merit. Sunam Kitsok, collection of merit. Yishi Kitsok, collection of wisdom. Sok means collection, to collect things together. You need that collection of virtue. You need to be doing two things to be purifying your mind as much as possible, and then to be collecting as much virtue as you can. Going for refuge helps in doing both those activities. We avoid harm, and this main reason here is that going for refuge, you're going for refuge essentially to that emptiness. Then the emptiness, that wisdom, when doing all things, can show you the real nature, and you collect unbelievable wisdom merit from that. All the various bodhisattva activities that you do, there's the emptiness of the doer, the object, and the deed. Then emptiness, going for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, which means going for refuge to emptiness, amazingly powerful in protecting you from harm. Because all of the harms that you face on an everyday basis is due to your ignorance and the bad deeds and mental afflictions you've accumulated from countless lives. So going for refuge to the three jewels, particularly in emptiness, is the greatest protection, along with generating this mind, the great kind of enlightenment for the wanting to get enlightened for the benefit of living beings. That is the most profound protection, along with getting this direct perception of emptiness. Then going for refuge, they say that you stay out of the lower realms. That doesn't mean, like I said before, that if you go through a blah, 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 blah in a ceremony and the teacher rings a bell and then you have refuge. That's not the case. Actually having that mind that goes to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha and wants to get out of suffering, then that's a very most profound mind, and that can keep you out of the lower realms. Why? Because it's purifying the karma that at the end of this life would take you to another round in the lower realms. And then we achieve temporary and ultimate goals. Going for refuge just speeds up and helps. You can't achieve bodhicitta. You can't have a direct perception of emptiness. You can't achieve nirvana unless you have refuge and renunciation. And we easily achieve Buddhahood. And I think this is just a little bit of a sales pitch. Easily achieve Buddhahood is a little bit of an oversimplification, but it's kind of like your ticket gets stamped at the door and you are now you're stamped, you're kind of like, you're legitimately a seeker of Buddhahood. You're authorized to achieve Buddhahood. I would disagree with easily achieve Buddhahood. Achieving Buddhahood is most difficult. Shakyamuni Buddha, suffered through countless aeons to achieve his status as a Buddha. They sell Tantra as a practice that will achieve the omniscient mind and blissful mind and perfect blissful body of a Buddha in one lifetime. But I think that's with most serious practitioner. That's with a practitioner that not like most people here in the West, you know, do a little bit of meditation, go see a movie. You must be a very strict practitioner. Last week we talked a little bit about right motivation. The proper motivation is to have a Mahayana motivation to come to this class. Then you just want to attend and listen nicely so that you can you can reach enlightenment and be of some benefit to the suffering beings. If you just come to this class with a kind of renunciation mind, you just want to escape suffering, and you want to reach enlightenment, but you don't have that kind of wish to do it for all the living beings, the result of that will be nirvana. But if you have that most holy, approximate bodhicitta mind, like in the form of a prayer, like I wish that I could be a bodhisattva. I wish that I could have that real actions of a bodhisattva and mind of a bodhisattva. Then eventually, when you get the actual bodhicitta in your mind, that's a direct cause for Buddhahood, the enlightenment of Buddha, not just nirvana. And there's two main practices for achieving bodhicitta. One is Gyura Manga Dun. That's the 7-step cause and effect method, centering around a basis of equanimity, and then seeing all beings as having been your mother. Then thinking about what kindness, that they've done for you. Really thinking about what mothers have done for you, both in this life and in the past. Then wanting to repay that kindness. Then generating many great kinds of minds, like loving and great compassion mind. Then there's another method, Dakshen Nyamje, and that's exchanging self and others. That's not when you put yourself in another person's shoes. It's not like a Hollywood movie where one day you wake up in another person's body, not like that. This type of practice is, instead of being constantly governed by the mind, which only seeks your own happiness, being absolutely obsessed with your own self-cherishing. You focus on other beings and think about their happiness. Think about taking away their suffering. So you exchange yourself in the sense that you're no longer fixated on yourself, you're fixated on other people. Paradoxically, you think that if you do this, that you're not going to be happy, that you're going to sort of lose something, that you're going to be a miserable person taking care of everybody. But paradoxically, you will be more happier than you've ever been in your life worried about other beings, worrying about their happiness. It's a very powerful karma. It generates very holy, pure seeds in your mind. And that will ripen pretty quickly as happiness. And then eventually, along with an understanding of emptiness and deep meditation, then you get the result of nirvana and Buddhahood.